Welcome to my channel, everyone. Thanks for tuning into this video. It's going to be on ThinkorSwim Active Trader. I've been getting a lot of questions on how to use Active Trader, which is essentially a depth of market, and it's an order execution tool for ThinkorSwim. So in this video, we're going to talk about the mechanics behind the market, what all of these numbers mean, and how to use Active Trader, and how to integrate it into our charts to make buying and selling orders, with a click of one button. Definitely saves a few seconds from clicking back and forth to multiple screens on ThinkorSwim. And whenever my platform runs fast, I will use Active Trader for my buy and sell executions. Before we do begin, all I could ask is you take a second, pause the video, follow my Instagram. I will link this in the description below. I post daily trading recaps along with trading tips and tricks. It's a very good trading resource if you are not following it. The link is in the description below. And without further ado, let's get right into Active Trader. So to get Active Trader on any of your charts, it's very simple. We have a little sidebar on any one of our charts. All you have to do is click AT, and that will bring up Active Trader. Now, when you see Active Trader, like I said, you could put it on any chart. When you see it on your screen, it's essentially a depth of market. So what that means is it spreads price on a vertical basis, and it displays volume by price, and it essentially is the level 2 of the market, but on a vertical axis instead of the normal level 2, which if I pull up level 2, you could see it down here. Now, if you don't know what all these numbers and all the bid and the ask means, I'm briefly going to get into it. So everything we see on the bid side, so I'm going to take a screenshot just so we could pause the action. Everything on the bid side are buyers in the market. There's two types of participants with every single transaction, a passive participant and an aggressive or active participant, meaning everyone who provides liquidity for the market uses a limit order on the market. It adds liquidity to the market, and their order is passively sitting at a price that they select, waiting to be filled, and that order can only be filled by a market order hitting, an aggressive order hitting their passive order. So everything we see on the bid side, this is the S&P 500 future. So everything on the bid side is displayed by a passive buyer in the market. And the bid size, we see BS right here. That is how many contracts. Now for futures, the contracts are outright, meaning you don't have to multiply this any number, which you do for stocks. So there's someone looking to buy at 3,802.50 cents. for 118 contracts. You have someone below it at 3,802 and a quarter looking to buy 141 contracts. So the only way they can actually buy their contracts is if somebody's selling aggressively market orders into the market and their market order hits that limit order for that buyer. For every transaction, there's a buyer and there's a seller, and for every transaction, there's a passive and aggressive order. Now, everything on the ask side is a passive seller in the market, represented by the price and how many contracts at that price. So for 3802.75 to disappear and for price to click up, we have to have more aggressive buyers in the market, in this case, hitting passive sellers, which are sitting on the ask or the offer, and that will take out this top offer and bring in the next higher offer at 3803. So the bid and the ask are all passives, and you can see this all on Active Trader. So if I actually bring the level 2 up and take a screenshot again, you could see at 3803 up here on the Active Trader, where my cursor is, you could see on the level 2, it's the same exact thing. You have 140 size, 189 size, 159 size, and that's represented by the bid size or the passive buyers, and we could see that on a vertical axis on the Active Trader. So when you're entering a position, I'm sure you've all heard of a limit versus a market order. A limit order is adding liquidity because you're putting an order to the market, and a market order is removing liquidity from the market because you're essentially hitting and taking away a passive buyer or seller which is sitting on the market. If you're learning anything from this video, you're taking something out of it, and you enjoy my content, if you could just take 2 seconds for me, it would be greatly appreciated just to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps spread my message to other traders in the community. Just take 2 seconds, smash that like button, and let's continue on. So on Active Trader, what I have here is an order entry tool. And if I wanted to get in right now aggressively and instantly, and I do not care about my fill price, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click buy market if I want to long the market, or sell the market if I want to sell the market. Now what this is going to do, I took a screenshot here. So if I hit buy market, my order is at the current price going to get filled at the inside offer, which is the first one at 3804 and 3/4, and someone is passively looking to sell 138 contracts at that price. So if I theoretically were to hit sell the market right now, price did not move, time does not change, this would my market order would remove liquidity from the market, and this 138 would become 137 as I remove liquidity from the market. Now if I wanted to be a passive seller, all I have to do, if I take a screenshot again, or actually I won't take a screenshot, I will put wherever I'm looking to limit order, because as you know, limit orders are passive. In this case, I'm just going to put it up here. I'm going to go to auto send. And now I'm a passive seller, which I got rejected because this account has $0 in it. And that adds liquidity to the market because my order is passively waiting for the market to come up and someone to buy my sell order on the offer. Now, you have to understand the trade that you're looking to put on. Are you looking to be an aggressive participant? Are you looking to get in now? You don't care about the price. For example, we're coming above this 1 hour supply zone. So if I were to wanted to get long, I would hit buy market, I would remove liquidity, and I don't care what price I get filled at. Obviously, it's going to be close to the current price, but I want to get in right now. I'm aggressive, and I don't care. I don't want to miss it. I'll market. But if you, which I recommend, you have to let the market come to you. I never chase the market personally. I set a limit price where I want to get paid depending on my risk to reward, my risk tolerance, and my game plan, which is all planned out before the trade is put on. Then I will limit into the market. So right now we're at 3804. Again, let me pause this. Let's say I wanted to get long. If we held above the highs, I'm going to put a limit at 3802.50. So now I hit, bid size up here. I hit bid size for me to enter my limit order at that price. And what I have to do is wait for the market to hit 3802.50 and for someone to sell to my passive buy order for me to get filled. So that's letting the market come to you. So right now the S&P 500 is ripping up. We tested supply twice. Used zones, used supply imbalances usually get broken through. So theoretically, this is a valid long trade once we broke above. So let's just say I wanted to play the SPY 380 calls. You can use Active Trader with any stock, any future, any option. It does not matter. So I have all my charts linked. So really fast, I'm just going to unlink. Let's just say the top left one. I'm going to unlink it. And I'm going to paste the SPY 380 calls into this. Now, usually what I do is I will remove the chart and just add Active Trader. So now here I just have the Active Trader for SPY calls. I know the bid is at 76 cents and I know the offer is at 77 cents. So if I wanted to play SPY calls, which are in relation to the S&P 500 future, all I have to do is now go up here, and now we have our order entry tools. So I'm just going to remove this Active Trader just because this is for the future. And now this is the SPY 380 calls, which I have loaded up here. If I wanted to trade SPY outright, the ETF, here we could pull up the SPY chart. And again, these are in sync with each other. These are all S&P 500 related instruments. As you can see, the charts are completely identical. So let's say I did want to play the SPY stock itself, the ETF. I have my Active Trader up here, loaded up. And all I have to do is edit my quantity. If I wanted to buy 100 shares, I hit 100 shares. If I wanted to buy, 5,000 shares, I hit 5,000. Now, what's important here is this auto send button. So this is risky, and understand the risk. If you do not have, or if you do have auto send open, what that's going to do, I'm just going to have one share here. Again, this account has $0 in it. It's not a funded account. But if I wanted to buy one share, and just in this case, obviously the bid is at 12 cents and the ask is at 14 cents. So I'm just going to go all the way down so I make sure I don't get filled. But if I was looking to play one SPY contract or one SPY share, 379.75. All I have to do if auto send is on is to click the price, and now my order is waiting to be filled once price comes down into whatever area or whatever price that I selected. And for me to remove it, all I have to do is hit cancel, or I could hit the X on the chart. Cancel all, and now boom, it's gone. If auto send is not on, it's going to give you a preview before you enter, and it's not going to put your order passively on the market until you hit confirm and send. So this auto send button essentially just disables the confirmation screen that takes, an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds out of, your order. And in some cases, that's very crucial if you're scalping, whatever the case may be. Now, if I wanted to trade SPY contracts, if I pull up the 380 calls, all I have to do if you trade options is go to the option chain. You could do two things. You could link this chart, and let's just say I want to link it to number 2. All I have to do now is go here, link this to number 2. I type in SPY, and I could go copy. I could copy these 379 calls. So now I click copy, or I can go to send to and send these to number 2, which is yellow. So you actually don't have to link this. So now I'll have the 379 calls loaded up in here. Or if you copied them on your keyboard, hit Control plus V at the same time and hit enter, and it's going to load those contracts in here. And if I wanted to adjust the quantity, all you have to do is go up here. Let's say I wanted to buy 2 contracts. I hit 2, and I just select whatever price that I'm looking to purchase at. If I wanted to market order in, I click market. But here on the quantity tool, you could either click it up, or on your keyboard, just hit the up arrow, and look how fast my quantity is going up. Or you could hit these buttons up here to change the quantity. Just make sure that your auto send is off. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when you get into a position. But let's say we are in right now. These buttons up here, flatten, will essentially sell your order. It'll flatten your position. You could set up hotkeys. So this button, if I hit Alt and F on my keyboard, it's going to flatten my full position. And if I'm in 86 contracts or 85 contracts, and I want to get out full position, I hit flatten. It's essentially going to sell market my position, with the click of a button. So now I'm in on demand, and on demand does not work very, very well. It's kind of slow, and the quotes are not really updated like real time is. But here we have the S&P on a different day. And let's say we want to play SPY calls. We're coming out of a demand zone, and the idea is to get long once we hit demand. So now I'm interested in SPY calls. I'll go over here. I'll hit SPY. I'll wait for this to load. Like I said, on demand, the quotes are not very in sync with the real-time quotes. So let's just let this load. And let's just say I want to play the 377 calls at the money. I hit copy, go back to my chart, Control V on the active trader. And another quick tip while this loads is you can detach any type of chart. Just click the right 3 little bars up here, click detach, and now I have a detached window. I can make this smaller. I can have this on a different monitor, whatever the case may be. Let me just put this over here really fast. And now I could have an option chain and this all at the same time. So let me close this out. And now this is ticking in real time. Again, the quotes are messed up because we are on demand. This is not real trading. But let's just say I wanted to get 10 contracts. If I wanted to buy at 164, now don't look at my fill price because this is probably out of whack. Right now the current price is 3774, and the current price is just showing me different things. But I want to get long. All I got to do is hit buy limit, or the current bid is at 167. So all I got to do is click cancel. I click the X. Now I go to 170, and boom, I'm filled 10 contracts at 169. So let me pause this. Let me just hit pause. So now I'm filled at 169. So how do I know I'm filled? When I have an entry, it's going to highlight whatever price my fill is at. And it's not going to, if you trade options, it's not going to show you how many contracts you have here. But on the top over here, it's going to say net position. And you see how it says plus 10? So I know I'm in 10 contracts at 169 because it's highlighted. Now, you're not going to see this populate. It's not going to show you your P&L open, your P&L day, because we're trading a derivative. We're trading the options. But to get this on, all we have to do is click this little settings customize button, hit customize, and all we have to do is add a P&L to open, and now we could see our profit and loss, which is something I don't recommend you to do. If you trade your profit and loss when you're trading, you're going to trade based off of emotions and not based off of the chart, and it's going to deteriorate your profits if you make a decision based off of your fear or your greed or any type of emotion. But going back to active trader, this is the case with options. It's not going to populate it up there, and if I hit play and I want to sell this position, all I have to do is click wherever I'm looking to sell. If I'm looking to sell at the offer, the current price, but I don't want to market order in, all I have to do is click sell. It's going to have my order sitting out there. And again, active trader is a little messed up, so I'm just going to move this until we get filled. And we are not getting filled for some reason, so let's try even lower. Yeah, so on demand, if you use on demand, it doesn't work very well. It's very laggy for some reason. But if I wanted to sell my full position, just click the price you want to sell. This hasn't moved, even though, SPY is moving. So that's how I know it's lagging. But that's the case with that. I could just hit sell market just to show you. And now I'm at my full position. Net position went to 0 and nothing's highlighted. My profit and loss is out the window. Now I can unlink this, or I'll link this back to number 1. And I'll put ES in here. So now this is the future. And let's say I wanted to buy, I don't know, 5, or we'll do 3 contracts, or we'll do 2 contracts in this case. All I have to do is, if it's moving like crazy, just hit, buy market. If I'm willing to pay premium and I don't want to miss on the move, I hit buy. So now with the future or with the stock, it does not matter, but with options, it's not going to populate. It's going to say how many contracts I'm long here, the price, and my profit and loss. If it's open or if I locked in some position, it's going to change depending on how many contracts. So let's say we're moving up. I'm up 150 bucks. I want to sell 1 contract. Now I'm in 1 contract long. I was in 2. 1 was sold. My profit and loss for the day is 137.50, and I have my 1 contract has $50 profit currently. If I wanted to sell the rest, I could put my limit order at a price. Wait for now. My limit at 377.450 to hit. We're coming down, so now let's say I want to move it. Now I got filled as soon as the market hit my offer because I was a passive seller. Same thing for stocks. Let's say I want to trade Tesla in this case. Everything's linked. If I wanted to buy 100 contracts right now, let it buffer. Let me remove all of these orders. So if I wanted to buy market, the current price, let it populate. Just go down here. I hit buy market, and now boom, I'm in 100 shares at 791.40. My profit and loss is updated here. If I want to sell, just put my order on the market, wait for us to trigger. Now that was at 792 and it was triggered. So you can practice this with on demand. I don't recommend it just because of how laggish it is and how the quotes are not in real time and they're not in sync with each other. But that was pretty much the whole premises behind Active Trader. It's a very good tool to use with ThinkorSwim. Faster executions. It helps you understand the depth of the market and how the market physically auctions. So you have to understand that first. You have to understand passive and aggressive buying. So if you did enjoy this video, please just drop a like on it. It will help me out tremendously. Spam the YouTube algorithm. Also subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. See you guys all at the next video.